Morning.
Morning.
We just need a few more people. We'll give them a minute. Okay. It looks like we've got a pretty good group now. Maybe we can get going. Hope everyone's been keeping warm. It's been chilly out there. Looks like it might be a little better today. We have a few new people, and I think we were going to start out with some introductions. So I think it might be a good time for us to do a whole round of intros if everybody's up for that. So um, I know, let's start with, let's see, we don't have Lizzie yet. I guess, I wonder, Andrea, if you would mind jumping in?
Yeah, sure, I'm happy to.
You're the,
I'm on Littleton City Council, and I took Gretchen's spot since she moved on, although I heard she might still be on the call sometimes, which would be great. Um, I tried turning my camera on. I don't know. I never used this council computer for much, so sorry, I don't know what to do about that. But
That's all
yeah,
right.
I'm happy to be on the call and part of the discussion.
Great. Welcome. Glad to have you. Let me just ask everybody else, if you're not talking, let's have you turn off your mic because I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if anybody else is, but maybe that'll fix it. Okay. I'm going to go down the list that I see here. How about Cameron? You want to introduce yourself, Cameron?
Sorry, my camera was trying to turn on, but good morning. My name is Cameron Shropshire. I'm the program administrator for Housing Homestead Services for Arapahoe County. So happy to be here.
Thanks. If you're just joining, we're just going to do a round intros. It's been a while and we have a whole bunch of new people, so we're going to see who all is on here. Krista, you're next on my list.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Krista Gravy, the Executive Assistant for the City Manager and City Council.
Thanks, Krista. David Jackson.
Hi, thank you. David Jackson, Chief of Police in Inglewood.
Great, thanks for being here. Devin?
Thanks, Mayor. Devin Granberry, City Manager, Sheridan.
Great. Doug Stevens.
Hi, I'm Doug Stevens. I'm the Chief of Police for Littleton.
Great. Elizabeth Ramsey.
I'm Liz Ramsey. I'm the management fellow for the city of Inglewood.
Lizzie Loomis.
Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Loomis. I'm the division manager over community development, housing, and homeless services here in Arapahoe County.
Lizzie, since I called on you, I know we were going to do an intro for Olivia. I don't know if you want to jump in and do that now before we get to her in the list.
Yes, ma'am, I can. So Miss Olivia Thomas is the Arapahoe County Administrative Specialist within my division. She's going to be taking over Miss Krista's duties until Miss Cox returns in April. You want to say hi, Miss Olivia?
Hi, everyone. Looking forward to working with all of you.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay. Emily.
Morning, everybody. I'm Emily Van Hake. I am a mental health clinician with Inglewood PD who manages our behavioral health responses.
Thank you. Gretchen. Intro.
Yeah, hi. I am Gretchen Biden. I'm representing us in the General Assembly. So I represent Littleton and parts of Centennial.
Thanks. Jim. Just doing a round of intros.
Of course. Good morning. I'm Jim Becklenberg. I'm the city manager for Littleton.
Thanks. Joe.
Morning, Joe Anderson. I'm Inglewood City Council representative to this board.
Kathy Smith.
Good morning, everyone. Kathy Smith. I'm the Community Resources Director for Arapahoe County.
Monica.
Good morning, everybody. I am representing our Advent Health Littleton Hospital. I'm the Community Benefit Coordinator. Sorry, a little under the weather. Apologies.
Oh, sorry. Kyla.
Good morning, all. I'm Kyla Moe. I'm the Deputy Director at Metro Denver Homeless Initiative.
Thanks for being here. Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, my camera's not working. I'm Lindsay Grozowski-Hocking, and I am the Executive Director of Innovative Housing Concepts, and we are the Public Housing Authority for the cities of Inglewood and Sharon.
Great. Yeah, I didn't warn everyone you would have to be on today, so I apologize. No worries about cameras. Mark. I might have muted you, Mark. Hold on, because you were making noise earlier. No, maybe you're muted on your own. All right,
Mark
we'll
is
move
the
on.
City of Inglewood's AV
Okay,
engineer.
great. Thank you. Mike, Jen?
I'm Mike Gent, Deputy City Manager with the City of Littleton. Good morning, Mayor.
Morning. Reed McGrath.
Hi, Reed McGrath, Change the Trend Facilitator.
Welcome. Shanna Jones, I think you're one of our speakers today, right?
Sorry, I couldn't get my mic off mute. I'm Shanna Jones. I'm the Arapahoe County Family Resource Navigator.
Welcome. Sean Lewis.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sean Lewis, City Manager of Inglewood.
I've got Zena West.
Zena West, Supervisor of the Family Resource Navigator.
Great, welcome. And I'm Tara Biter-Fleur. I'm the Mayor of Sheridan. I'm chairperson of this committee. So welcome everybody this morning. That was a good round. We have quite a few new people and we have some speakers this morning that we're looking forward to hearing from. The first person who's going to share some info with us is Shanna. So welcome, Shanna. We're glad to have you. And she's going to talk a little bit about the services for families that the county can provide.
Okay, I can't get my PowerPoint to work, so I'm just going to give a brief overview, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to send that along to Olivia, and then maybe she can pass it on to the group after for us to look at it. You know?
Okay, perfect. Hi, my name is Shanna Jones. I'm the Family Resource Navigator for Arapahoe County Human Services. Thank you for letting me share a brief overview of the Family Resource Navigator team. Our unique and amazing team consists of 5 individuals, Priscilla Gill, Alejandra Romero, who are both Spanish-speaking, Annalisa Espinoza, myself, and Zena West, who is our fearless leader of the Family Resource Navigator team. All of the navigators have a wealth of knowledge and experience in assisting families. Our motto is we will find a way. No matter the challenge, we are dedicated to working diligently to ensure families get the support they need. We assist households with children 18 and under living in the home. The family can look like two fathers, a kid, the grandparents, just we want to make sure there are children in the home. We help identify appropriate resources and work with families to set and achieve goals. We assess family strengths and challenges to better support their needs. We provide outreach to households experiencing homelessness or housing instability. We conduct consultations with staff and community partners to share insights and improve services. We build collaborative relationships with human services and with external organizations to provide comprehensive support. Our primary goal is to build the capacity of families to achieve positive change for the entire household using a 2-gen approach, which focuses on both children and their parents. This is the entire family, as long as there are children in the home. We always have to reiterate that. We come alongside clients to ensure they don't feel alone in navigating resources. Our goal is to make the process as seamless and stress-free as possible. Families will have a dedicated navigator who will help them throughout the process, ensuring that they get the support they need from one consistent person. This allows for a smoother experience and avoids the need for clients to repeat their stories to multiple individuals. Our program involvement typically lasts between 30 to 90 days, depending on the family's needs and goals. To make a referral, we have a link that is electronic. The form asks for the information like date of birth, phone number, and email. We also ask the person who's referring for their email and phone number, so we may reach out to them if we have any questions. Navigators usually reach out to the clients within 48 hours. Households must be referred by human services staff or community partners. This cannot be shared with clients. If you have any questions, I can attach the referral link and the Human Services Navigator's inbox if you have any questions.
Thanks.
That's it.
Okay.
I know I probably went a little fast. I'm nervous when I present.
Oh, that's all right. Can you tell us a little about like what kinds of services you're usually able to provide?
Usually we help them with first month's rent and deposit. We try to get them connected with different resources in the community. If they're experiencing domestic violence, we want to get them situated with any type of shelters. If their Medicaid food stamps is pending or they have questions about that, we reach out to our direct contact people in human services to get questions answered. We want to prevent them from being homeless, so we help them with evictions, diapers and wipes, and things like that.
Great. If folks have questions about what kind of services they're providing, or other questions, I guess. No, I don't see any hands up.
Mayor, I had just a quick question. Maybe what, and Shannon, thank you for being here today. What maybe, I'm kind of thinking, one of my officers is out in the field and they come in contact with the family and they say, yeah, these guys need a referral. What's their next step?
So you said the officers are in the field and they have a client that they've spoken with and they need to refer them because they have needs.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they come into the office?
I don't know. I'm just saying,
Okay.
they came in contact with a family and they know this family needs some help. And
Evan's talking about
what's their
police.
next step?
Like the police officers meet them.
Yeah.
Okay. So they would, go ahead, Zena. Our fearless leader had came off mute. Go ahead.
I'm struggling a little bit because my mic isn't working on the computer, and so I have my phone on, so there's a echo. So I'll let you answer, Shanna. I was just fooling around with the mic.
So we have an electronic email referral form, so they can Normally, if it's a situation like that and the officer needs help, immediate assistance, we have our cell phone numbers that you can get in touch with us, and we can put we can get together and help the client. So you can give us a call. You can call Zena West, or you can email the inbox, or you can put a referral in. If it's emergency, we prefer you call us on the phone.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Other questions? Emily, go ahead.
Morning, Shana. Thanks for being here.
Good
I'm
morning.
aware of your all's program, but I was just curious. I know you said children have to be present. What if there's like maybe a disabled adult or somebody who fits into a vulnerable population that might qualify for services in another respect, living in a family setting?
Emily, I'll
So-
chime in here too. This is Kathy, Community Resources, and Cameron and Lizzie can speak to this, but we work really closely, the housing navigators and community resources and the family navigators, which we just presented on, work really closely together. So you can always refer individuals that don't have children to the housing navigation team in Arapahoe County, and that's through Cameron's group. And we can kind of refer back and forth. If you do refer someone that's an individual over to Human Services, they will move them over to us and refer them over to us, and vice versa. So
Great. Sean, go ahead.
Thank you, and thanks for the presentation. Thanks for what you do for Arapahoe County. It's a super important work. Where are you in terms of going out to, say, children's programs at the library or, in the schools? How do you connect with youth that, have families that are in need?
We're attached with, we work with the McKinney-Vento people in the schools, and they send the referrals over. So that's how we connect with the people in the schools, is the McKinney-Vento liaisons. They reach out to us, and we're attached with Cherry Creek and Aurora Public Schools right now.
Thank you.
And Sean, Jessica Cox also works with McKinney-Vento, so it's a direct link. If they're seeing a need, she will connect them with Zena's West group, if not myself or Cameron, to assist.
Great. Well, you've got some love in the chat. People are appreciative of you coming by and what you do for the county. So we appreciate you. Thanks for sharing those links. And we'd love to see, if you have if you had a little slide deck, if you want to send it along to Olivia, and we'll get it out to the group so we have all your contact info and everything.
Thank you so much. I'm very nervous about public speaking, so if I went a little fast, forgive me.
No problem.
But,
All right. Any final questions for Shanna or for Zena before we move on? All right. Thank you both for being here. We really appreciate it. You're welcome to drop off where you can hang on and see what we do if you want.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Next up on our agenda, we have Devin. He's going to talk a little bit about the RFP, update on the RFP for, the RFP we have out and what's going on. Sorry, stumbling over my words now.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm going to just go really quickly over the scope of the, just give you an outline of what that RFP looks like. And then just to kind of start, big thanks to Lizzie and Jessica, who did all the heavy lifting on this, and then it was myself and Joe and Mike and Tarina that kind of sat in and went over the drafts and didn't really have to make much choice or make much changes because those guys did such a great job on it. And I'll invite any of them to jump in when I miss something here. So let me just kind of go fairly quickly through this. So we met and we formulated all this. I want to say it was middle of December, no, middle of January-ish. Was it, Lizzie? She said, yeah, something like that. anyway, real quick background. As part of our action plan, our original Tri-Cities action plan, there was an action item that looked at or recommended that we look at doing a feasibility assessment for permanent supportive housing. And that's what this RFP then looks at. It asks for a thorough analysis of the level of need for permanent supportive housing in the Tri-Cities region, with a goal to develop an actionable analysis and proposal to begin discussions and plans to expand PSH. That's easier to say PSH than permanent supportive housing over and over. PSH in our region that would help folks that are experiencing homelessness. The statement of work really has 5 primary strategies, and I'll go through those here quickly. First one is data collection. So this data collection is going to involve an environmental scan. It's going to involve a quantification of the level of PSH units needed in our area, quantify and qualify social determinants that guide supportive housing, quantify and qualify subpopulations and the demographics that are experiencing homelessness, and then compile and analyze supportive services that will be needed as part of the PSH. The second point is community engagement and education. We're looking at a really big, education push on this and getting out into the communities and really trying to educate folks, and then also capture what we look at for current and future needs on PSH. Identifying community partners, getting them involved with community engagement plans and events, engaging people with lived experience on this, and then looking at some citizen participation plans and events. I think I mentioned that, but open type of events, and inviting people in to have some input on that as well. The third aspect we're looking at is provider engagement and assessment. So looking at the providers in our area that might be able to help us with this. Looking at what the design elements for PSH are that they're using, what are their funding sources, how are they structured, and then looking at location considerations and seeing what that kind of consideration and land acquisition considerations might involve. The fourth aspect is a recommendation through a strategic implementation plan. So this is going to be one of the biggies. So an implementation plan that's going to look at the amount of PSH units that we would, it recommends, the type of units, individual, family units, etc. What are the supportive services that should be considered? What are the location considerations? What are some of the existing resources? Design recommendations, and then looking at some projected costs and financial structures to go along with that. And finally, the fifth element will be an actionable timeline plan for those 1 through 4 steps. Let's see, that is a real quick run through of that. I mentioned the folks that will be the folks that are going to be involved in reviewing any submittals and making recommendations are going to be, again, myself, Joe Anderson, Mike Gent, and Tarina Cannon. There's already been some vendor outreach, so specific vendors were identified. Among them was Be Connected, Bo Simone Consulting, and Civitas. So if you know of other folks that do this out there that might be interested, you can let them know that the bid is up on BidNet as we speak. But I can't remember how much longer it's going to be up there. Lizzie, do you have what the final date is?
So it's not quite on BidNet right now. Our senior procurement specialist has to go through and put in all the county language. She did have quite a backlog of RFPs, so it's in line to be done, but hopefully it'll be up within the next couple of weeks. The idea is to keep it on the street for at least 60 days.
Right.
And if you guys do have any vendors that are interested, you can refer them to BidNet, or you can send their email addresses to myself or Miss Olivia, and we can definitely send them the basic information and where to find the RFP.
Good. And I throw out to anybody, to Joe or Mike or anybody that was involved in the discussion, we feel like kind of glossed over, you want to include something on there. I know that my initial notes was we were looking at hoping to make a selection April, May. I think we can probably still hit that. It might be May, June, but yeah, I got the thumbs up from Lizzie. All right, we're good on that. So I think that's kind of it, Mayor, toss it out to anybody else that was part of that discussion and any input they might have.
Any other comments on that or questions?
So I have a couple additional. The selected vendor will do community engagement after the plan is presented to the city council, just in case we want to circle in virtually for small groups, our nonprofit partners, our additional library sessions for citizens, anything in that nature.
Looks like Emily was looking if there's anything in writing that they could take a look at, or maybe you all could let us know when it's up and we can look at it on BidNet.
All I had really is a messy draft. I'm sorry, or I would have shared it today.
No, that's okay. Yeah, even just a notice of when it's up, so we can look at the details in writing would be great.
You bet.
Miss Emily, we can send out a blast to the policy group when it's available in a copy, in case you guys want to refer anyone.
Great. Jim, go ahead.
Thanks, Mayor. I just want to say how comprehensive this work will be, and just big thanks to the subcommittee for the work. Since it is so comprehensive, I just will note, I think it's going to be important to have the interim discussions. There's going to be a lot of learning for this group through the process, just about, I think first getting us all on the same page about what permanent supportive housing really could look like for us. I think a high level, once the consultant knows and the teams work through it, kind of high level of cost and ongoing support services is going to be key for this. So I think the more we can learn about that together, even as we get into more of the kind of action planning and details, will be good for us so that we all get to the finish line together. So
Yeah, it's a good point, Jim. Thanks. It looks like Julie had a recommendation for somebody to reach out to for the bids. So if you want, Lizzie or Devin, if you want to take that info down. Okay. Yeah, it does sound like a really broad scope and a lot of, like, we're going to get a lot of really good, valuable information out of that. So I'm looking forward to that. Anybody else have any comments or questions on the RFP right now? No? Okay. Yeah, thanks to that subgroup. I mean, it sounds like you did a great job putting that together. A lot involved there.
It was all Lizzie and Jessica. You did the heavy lifting.
Thank you. Okay. Next up, we have Cameron, and we asked Cameron to come back and just give us a little debrief on how the pick count went this year. I don't think your mics were quite working right, Cameron. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Kind of far away or something. It's not picking up very well. We heard you earlier, so I don't know what changed.
Yeah, I didn't change my settings.
There we go. Now we're good. I don't know.
Perfect. Let me hurry before anything goes wrong. But we had a very successful pick council. I'm very appreciative of all the county staff that helped provide support and just all around coordination for the pick count this year. We had over 50 volunteers this year that were registered to come out and volunteer. So we had really good coverage, within the Tri-Cities. We had strong showings at Graceville Cafe and Giving Heart, Inglewood Library. So we really tried to make sure we had staff that were out and about throughout the major portions throughout the county, just so we could get as accurate of a snapshot as we could get for the count this year. We did have about 100 incentive bags that we're able to hand out to individuals who did come out and participate in the count. And we were able to leave some extras as with community partners as well for people who may have come in later in the day. So again, just very, I think everyone did a really effective job with getting out and working account. Also want to give a thanks to Kyla and MDHI. Kyla came in and really provided some leadership around the team of care and make sure everybody was organized throughout the different counties to really have a successful pick count. MDHI also provided us with a lot of socks, which come in handy as well to provide to community members. They serve multiple purposes, so very thankful for that partnership as well. So yeah, once MDHI gathers all the data, they'll provide us with their information on how the count went and on the data. So, are there any questions?
You remind us, or maybe Kyla can remind us what the timeline is for when those counts come out.
Yeah, so it goes through a data cleaning and verification process on our end, and then we submit it to HUD in April, end of April, and then they do a data verification process on their end as well. So we usually try to release kind of some high level preliminary numbers. Sorry, it's early. In April, like end of April, May, and then the full report usually comes out in June or July.
Great. Okay. Keep it on my mind because we always like to hear back when we get those numbers, see how we're doing. Okay. Anybody have any questions for Cameron? No? Thanks, Cameron. We appreciate it. Oh, go ahead, Lizzie.
I also want to give a big shout out to HAP Force Movement 5280 that did shelter individuals between January 27th and January 28th. So we will probably see a larger number for shelter count this year within the Tri-City region.
Great. Okay. That's good to know. Okay, other questions or comments on that? No? Okay. Last item on our agenda for today is Lizzie with a little update. The coordinator update while Jessica's out.
Give me 1 second to pull my PowerPoint.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'm just going to go over a brief overlook of some of the items that were left over prior to Mrs. Cox's departure. I'm just going to hit high level for governance, and this was a similar presentation that we gave in January. So still in progress from the Tri-Cities action plan prior to January of this year. We are still working on expanding local government staff capacity. We have had the Key Heart training in October, and we are looking to bring them back to give a more in-depth training in the future. And we are still working on streamlining volunteer and giving opportunities to enhance public involvement under governance. For the single adult system, we are still working on establishing central center, navigation center. Currently, Bridge House is underway. We are looking for them to open their doors this spring and seeing that the services they will provide when they are open. We did have expanding street-based services for unsheltered residents. There was a safe parking initiative that was started in April of 2024. Sadly, they closed their doors to their nonprofit on December 31st of last year. Also in progress still is promoting share housing and affordable options. And we are still working on the landlord outreach efforts. That was a big education component when the Key Heart training was conducted in October. We are looking for more avenues of doing landlord incentives program and funding for that program in addition to the Tri-Cities action plan. A majority of the items for the workforce opportunities has been completed. I know Jessica is still working on local library online skill training programs in conjunction with 80 Works and also engaging the local Chamber of Commerce. For family systems, we're still seeing a big jump for this one as an in-progress mode. I know Ms. Cox has worked with the McKinney-Vento staff as well as City of Centennial representation for homeless outreach, as well as many of our nonprofits. And this will kind of probably tie into the PSH study for maybe putting out another RFP for a lead service provider for families, looking at more in-depth information for the school districts, for families that are aware of eviction prevention programs through educational training, highlighting a peer support specialist program, as well as looking at local housing authorities. I know we have a couple on the call today for expanding housing choice vouchers to those families in need. So just to circle with what has been in progress for permanent supportive housing, City Manager Devin Granberry gave a great overlook at the permanent supportive housing feasibility assessment that will be put up on the streets here shortly. He's completely in line. We're looking to pick or select a vendor in May of 2025 and hopefully get them started very shortly after. For the landlord engagement incentive program, it was kind of started with the Key Heart training, but Ms. Cox is working with a group of individuals that attended the training as well as nonprofits that were unable to be there to look at doing welcome home baskets in various forms of fashion, where those nonprofit agencies would put an inquiry for the need of their clients and their families and to see what items we are able to provide. Also to see if we can get donations from other local businesses to help these individuals become more housing stable, because we all know when anybody gets an apartment for the first time after it's been a duration of facing homelessness, they need very basic items like kitchen utensils, bedding, towels, things of that nature, hygiene products. For the second set of items that are in progress, the Arapahoe County and various staff members are looking to update the homeless resource brochure. Even though that was just updated in August of 2024, a lot of our nonprofit entities have either changed items they offer, their times, some went offline as of resources offered. So that is currently sitting in our communication department. We are using some of those wonderful pit photos that you guys have sent over to us to upgrade and make it more legible. We are also going to offer business cards with a QR code, as well as a download PDF that some of our nonprofit agencies can just pull from the website and have it right then and there. They don't have to wait for the county to drop off the more traditional folded brochures. Going to hit with Safe Parking Pilot. So we are still in contact with a lot of the staff members that worked on the Safe Parking Initiative. We are kind of tying up some of the information that they provided of learned lessons. We are still going to see if there's another nonprofit entity that would like to fill those shoes. And then we would like to also re-engage efforts within locations that were identified in the past. One of the last items Ms. Cox was working on, and this one will probably be on hold for a short period of time until her return, is the Healthcare Partnership Street Outreach expansion. So she was able to collaborate with Stride. We're looking at point data. We were also looking at more outreach that we did during point in time because of the high volunteer numbers. We were able to get on trails and some of the nooks and crannies within our community that typically in the past we have not had the capacity of participation for individuals to go talk to those in need. Also bringing in more services like Hat Force Movement 5280 that were able to offer food and warmth during that winter storm. We were able to encompass and get those extra numbers of people who may have not been encountered during point. Efforts are still underway to secure a date with the Swedish Hospital to look at case management for homeless prevention resources and to expand possible support systems for individuals that they may discharge that are in need of housing. And that's all I have for today. Thank you, guys. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns?
Thanks, Lizzie. I don't see any hands up. Nice quick review. Okay. We don't have anything else on the agenda, but we do have time if anybody has anything they want to bring up from their organization that's going on that you think would be of interest to the group. I welcome you to jump in here. You want to share anything, and keep that in mind for the future as well. You know, we have another meeting coming up on March 13th. If you ever want to come back to this group and share what's going on in your organization, you think it might be useful for us to hear that, or even get a refresher if you've been involved for a while, we'd welcome you coming and speaking to us about it. Sean, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to echo the thanks that I think it was Cameron that was thanking Hat Force and Movement 5280. I'm not happy if we have larger numbers of homelessness folks, but I'm very happy that they are providing that, critical shelter and helped, with the pit count. What I wanted to just highlight is that the amount of extreme weather that we've had lately, there's been a bit of overwhelm in those two agencies. And I know Reed McGrath, who's the Change the Trend coordinator, is I think putting together a meeting. Reed, I know you told me, but to talk about next year. But you know, I definitely have some concerns about, you know, the financial situation that both of those agencies are facing and their ability to, you know, provide that emergency sheltering. On the very coldest night a couple of weeks ago, movement did overflow. So of course it's Hat Force is vouchered up, and then movement is the overflow. And then we opened our Malley Recreation Center and just had a handful of folks. It was a small number, but just really want to thank the city staff in Inglewood who helped with that. But really just thank the ongoing work of Hat Force and Movement 5280 for what they're doing. I mean, it's truly life-saving work. And I just hope we can, help them in whatever way we can in terms of, you know, a financially sustainable system.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate you saying that. It looks like I have Gretchen next. Go ahead, Gretchen.
Yes, thank you. This question is for the city managers and for Kathy. Because you all have federal money, was any of the stuff that happened with the administration, 10 days ago, did that affect any of your ability to draw money, those portals?
Everybody hear the question okay?
I
No?
can,
Gretchen was asking if you've had any issues getting federal funding, I think, in the last few weeks.
I can speak from a community resources county perspective at this point. So, yes, we are definitely heavily federally funded in community resources. About 80% of our funding comes from federal sources. So, we're still kind of in a limbo right now because we typically don't bill. So we bill everything on a reimbursement basis. And we actually won't bill our January reimbursement until about the 15th. So next couple of days. And we anticipate kind of seeing more there. I will say that we have had some trouble. We know our state partners have had some trouble at the Department of Energy. Weatherization is one of our divisions within community resources that is being impacted already. We know that much, but for our HUD funds and other federal funding, we are still kind of awaiting to see what will happen when we do go to draw down. We haven't heard from our state partners in those areas. Obviously, HUD, we're directly reimbursing from HUD, but for our other services that we have passed through from our state partners, we haven't heard, other than the Department of Energy, that they are unable to. So it's still kind of up in the air, and we're definitely keeping a pulse on everything that's happening there and any directions that we receive from our federal and state partners. So likely more to come on that in the coming weeks for us.
Thanks, Kathy.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else have any input on that? Not seeing anybody jumping up to talk about it. Jim, are you responding? You have another question?
No, I can just comment. I know Mike Gent's been working closer on this than I have for us, but we're working very closely with Bridge House to keep working on their facility, trying to, we're the conduit for their funding through HUD, and so far that's still working. And I know they're trying to get as many of their costs to us as they are incurred so that we can keep that that reimbursement going. Mike, I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Nope, that says it all. Thanks.
All right. Reed, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to tag on to what Sean said, that very severe weather thing that we had several weeks ago between our partner agencies. We sheltered about 144 people during that really cold snap. So just to give you a picture of what's going on. This time, don't have any numbers yet. I think it's going to be a bit less because it wasn't quite as extended.
Okay. Gretchen.
Can you remind me again on how we alert when we have the extreme cold weathers like Inglewood that you guys opened up on overflow? Can you remind me about what our process is for that?
Anybody want to
Sean, are you able to address that when you go into the overflow, I could tell you, Gretchen, that Hatforce manages the baseline, the phone system. Once they reach capacity, they forward the phones, their system to 5280. So it's a seamless phone system that works on that. And it's also announced through our partner agencies on Slack and email as well.
Yeah, Emily Van Haek in the Inglewood Police Department can probably give you a better answer. And Emily, if you can add to what I'm going to say. But we stay in touch, first of all, with the agencies to find out, you know, what they're expecting. And then we just know from experience that when the temperatures get down so extremely low, or the wind chill is so extremely low, that there will be overflow. I mean, in this West County area. So that's when we make the decision, on whether or not to open something ourselves. It's pretty labor intensive. I appreciate that Kathy's giving another option in the chat in terms of the Aurora Navigation Center, because it is, it's a heavy lift, but we just really, really don't want to, both at our council level and the staff level in Inglewood, do not want to lose someone in Inglewood because of cold weather.
Thanks, Sean. I'm happy to piggyback off that too. Yeah, I'm on the sort of the email distribution list from Hatforce and 5280 for when they do officially declare severe weather shelter nights. And like Sean said, basically just always operate under the assumption that Hatforce will meet its capacity for motel vouchers. And that's happened every single event, I think, since late November, early December. So then I send out an email blast to all of our police department, to city leadership, to community partners like the co-responder team, to be advertising what's available to folks. And I include our local shelter status, and generally that also coincides with Denver operating some emergency sheltering locations. So I'll put that flyer in, and then the family sheltering option, emergency sheltering option in Aurora, I include that information. So we have a couple of tiers of options. And yeah, 5280 actually called us last night to let us know, to pass on to our dispatch that they hit their capacity last night and we're full. So not just during we were in a pretty severe cold weather snap this week too. Not quite as bad as a few weeks ago, but those numbers are definitely staying consistent in terms of high need being demonstrated.
Do you include, Emily, the All Health Network CRT last email in that as well? The folks who are working, not just the co-responders, but the folks who are working at the walk-in?
At the WIC, yeah.
Thank you. I did a shift. I was there a couple weeks ago, and we had a gentleman come in. I don't think it was on the coldest day, but he was looking for shelter and just wanted a warm place to stay. It was kind of challenging to refer him to the right place. And it was a Saturday night, so it's not like that can be challenging since other people are offline. So, okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Lizzie, go ahead.
I also wanted to give some support to Safer. Safer took in 7 household units during those inclement weather nights. So hats off to them also.
And Sean, I saw your comment. Can someone share what the county is doing? I mean, a lot of our partnership is the same that you all are doing, right? With our severe weather sheltering, and Lizzie can jump in for anything I'm missing, but we're not doing anything above and beyond what we already have in place for the Tri-Cities, and then obviously our partnership with Aurora. But I do think it's really worth us maybe making a good connection now that Aurora is up and going with their navigation center, not in full, but they are doing emergency sheltering. And so is there a way that we could, on nights that we think we're going to hit capacity, really get individuals over to the day center or whatever that looks like to get them housed for the night in the navigation center in Aurora? So, I think there's room for us to collaborate there, but yeah, we're not doing anything any different beyond our navigation services. And, if we're needing to place someone quickly, then got rental assistance things too. But Lizzie, anything else that I'm missing on that?
No, ma'am, you covered it.
Yeah, thank you for that, Kathy. I appreciate that. And good to know about Safer as well. You know, if it would be helpful, we also reached out to RTD in terms of, are you providing, you know, a free ride to people to get to a shelter or a bus stop near a shelter? They were not, you know, doing that at the time. But as I think about, you know, the needs of 5280, which of course is in Inglewood, when they overflow, it would be less, it would be a more perhaps effective, we might be more effective by providing transportation. I mean, Inglewood has buses, we have vans
Exactly.
to the Aurora Navigation Center. So, Kathy, can you make that connection, but
Yes.
to their folks between Emily and myself
Yep.
and Tim Dodd? That'd be very helpful.
Yep, we'll get something set up.
Great. Julie, go ahead.
I was just going to tag on to that. If the transportation was there and back, that would be ideal, like the evening and then the next morning, just because from my conversations, people are so well connected to their local resources. The thought of getting dropped out there and not knowing how they're going to get back, they might not want to. But if they knew they had, and you know, maybe that's a heavy lift, I don't know, but that would be probably a stronger, somebody might be more likely to do it if they knew they could come back to where they're like super connected, if that makes sense.
Great. Thanks, Julie. Okay. Great connections there. Anybody else? No? Okay. Well, I think we're done for today then. It was really great to see you all and good conversations, good presentations, and I'll see you again in March. Take care,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.